Yo, how you doing? How's everyone getting on? Oh, mic sounds good. Music is a good volume. Just lots to talk. Does mean you're first? I mean, yeah, you're probably first, given not many people tune in. So, how's everyone doing? 100k Bitcoin, hey. Lots to talk about today in the market. Altcoins wise, market like ETH, BTC wise, plenty to discuss to summarize from the week. I got about an hour and a half today. I get off just before 5. So we got loads of time. We'll give it another minute or so, and then we can start. You were first. Hey, I appreciate you guys caring so much about who was first. All right, we're getting some New York Open volatility at the moment. We've New York opened about an hour ago. We're chopping. I mean, so far to me, this doesn't look like a top just yet. The move has been kind of driven by spot, but a lot of the move, especially from yesterday's session onwards, was heavily driven by a decent amount of shorts getting taken out, which is a pretty good sign, to be honest, for BTC. But overall, for a local top, I can't say this looks like a local top. I mean, just if we go back and look at sort of local tops in historically over the past couple months, we can see how they turn out to be quite like a sharp and wicky environment, with the almost like a blow off following that top. We can see, you know, here and then here, even here, and then up here as well, right? For me, like this sort of slow consolidation right now, I don't think this is a sign of a local top just yet, but it definitely is a place for us now to be taking your foot off the gas a little bit. I was speaking about it on stream last night in the Discord, but for those who weren't there, for some reason, as a section, and for some reason as price action 06, even to the 106k region, right? So this is not a place you want to be risking on into the market. It's a place to take the foot off the gas. We've had some pretty crazy moves. I mean, from ETH's point of view, I think it had almost its best day, or if not its best day, trading in the past 4 years since like 2021, which is pretty wild. Yeah, we can see pretty nasty reaction this morning, which is completely fine. The market has been crazy, you know. I was saying it on stream last night, but as much as you think the market is going to just go up only, it won't. It will pull back, and it will give you an entry. But the question is now discussing where is that entry, and where we can potentially look at positioning in. So I got 2 areas that I've kind of highlighted right now. The first area I've highlighted is around this 99k to 101k region. I think this is a good place to bounce for BTC. And I think this is a place that if you want to be aggressive, and if we start to see some nice signs of a market bottom, we can look at buying into this region. Simply based off the fact of we have such a huge amount of values stacked up here for a strong breakout and trend continuation place. I think that's a good region to look at buying. And we have the developing weekly value area high, the developing monthly value area high, the developing yearly value area high, and then also our 2 quarterly value areas high, one from Q1 this year and one from Q4 this year. So for a breakout, I think that we should, if we are going to truly break out going into May and June, I think this is the place for us to be holding. This 101 to 99k region, this is the place to be holding. And if we did deviate below here, I'm pretty sure we retrace back towards the monthly open, back towards 94k. Which even then, I think my bullish bias will remain intact when this wants to load. So the monthly open back towards that 94k region. I'm pretty sure if we deviate back under 100, we're probably going to trade back towards the monthly open, and even from there, I think we can still look at legging up. So we have seen some pretty crazy moves across the board, especially from meme coins, which is completely normal, right? Meme coins are always the ones to trend the hardest. I've been saying that for a couple of weeks now. Been scaling into spot on meme coins, the top meme coins, for a couple of weeks now. Towards the back end of April, I started buying into these, and well, not mooding exactly. The mooding was one I fumbled. But yeah, a few of these looking really good, and obviously we've been seeing some crazy moves, and kind of this is not, when we see BTC stalling like this, is kind of not what you want to see. Is see BTC also trade up with meme coins doing so, but as of right now, meme coins are just heavily gapping up. So the reason I think we can sort of look at being aggressive into 100k is because first of all, it's 100k. It's just a psychological number. We have the values as I just discussed. So from a breakout point of view, this seems like a fantastic place to be a buyer into 101 to 99. If we look at our trend from last year, the Q4 value area high was a good place where BTC continued to hold over and over again as it broke out, and now we flipped back above it. Failed to hold above it back in January into the inauguration, and now we're back here again. So if we can sort of flip above here, I'm pretty sure this trend could just continues. And max pain is that a lot of people don't get this massive flush and pullback that they're waiting for to get into positions, right? You know, historically, when BTC gets into these breakouts, it really rarely offers deep pullbacks, like especially this cycle. Last cycle was slightly different. You know, we can compare cycles as much as we want, but we're trading in this current market now. We're not trading in 2020 and 2021 anymore, right? Flow is different, price action is different to, you know, in some aspects, but we can see in the October to November range break, right, or downtrend, whatever you want to call it, right? You know, funnily enough, it has been as easy on BTC as buying these breakouts on the daily and weekly. But take a look at the price action. So we can see on the range we had from March 23 through to October, we had basically a big range. And then from the breakout, we can see as soon as BTC started to break out, what happened was it would rally, consolidate, rally, consolidate, rally, consolidate, rally, consolidate, rally, right? And what it doesn't offer you is that pullback back to the demand that most people are looking for, right? So you got that rally, base, rally, and then pull back into demand and rally again, right? And this ends up causing like really hated rallies because it doesn't offer much of a gateway for people to hop into positions as much as you like, right? So that was the October-November range break. Then you had the exact same thing from the February and March range break, right? When we break from that range back here, BTC broke the downtrend, right? Then we can see same thing again. Bounce, consolidation, rally, consolidation, rally, consolidation, rally, consolidation, rally. And then why I've highlighted these lows is because you don't get that sweep. You don't get a sweep of like the liquidity below. And you know, in some cases we do, right? In some cases we do get flushes like this, which if these come, these are fantastic buy opportunities. But this was at the top in March, and this was heavily induced by the funding rates that was across the board. We had crazy OI in the board, and then what happened was following that we saw that huge liquidation cascade. I think you know, altcoins bounced like 100% off these lows, some of them. And then we can go and look at the exact same scenario for our range break in October, November 2024, right? Same thing. Break, lows don't get swept, rally, lows don't get swept, rally, lows don't get swept, rally, right? You know, and we do get pullbacks, right? It's like we can't be shy from the fact we do get pullbacks, and we do get these sort of retracements in price, but we don't get that full like massive flush that everyone's looking forward to getting into. So that's why I think from here, you know, we can see already if we are going to break from this range, it's very hard to say just yet. I'm leaning towards a scenario where we do, but the window now for this range break is getting very small. You know, we got until probably June before we hit summer seasonality, so the window now for a breakout is getting very small. We can see, you know, May and June last year, we topped out, failed to break out, and we topped out. And then the same the year before, right? We rallied in June, failed to break out, and then we chopped and went into a downtrend until October. And then obviously the year before, we were in a bear market, but similar thing. Popped out into summer, but it was a bear market, so different PA. So that's why I think right now it's worth trying to bet on an aggressive place to look for some positions, just in the event that we don't get that full-blown pullback, right? Let's say BTC did pull back to the monthly open, we'd probably get a 20 to 30% cascade on alts, in my opinion. You'd probably see the likes of Ethereum retesting back towards 2k. I reckon ETH could go back to 2k. You know, from the high, that would be like a 22% move, which is, you know, completely normal. But from here, I do think, like I said, is looking for an aggressive place. As long as we continue to consolidate, as long as we show some strength up here, I think we can look for a very shallow pullback before forming some sort of range and then breaking out into May, end of May and June. So that's why I kind of have my two scenarios right now on BTC. The first one being an aggressive buy area, I'll sweep into 100k, and if we fail to sort of hold here, I would invalidate that idea, and then we look at a deeper pullback towards that monthly open, which even then, right, remember what I said with the fact that we still don't sweep the sell side liquidity, like we can still get big pullbacks. If we take a look at the range break back here, you know, we got, it's kind of similar price action to what we're in, right? very similar. So we sort of had the lows built up, range and break, right? Lows built up, range and break. So we could still come back down, right? We could still come back down into this 94 to 96 region and remain in a bullish environment, right? So that's something to consider. But I think we only go to 96 if we fail to hold 100 at this point. Morning, Pancho. How's it going, bro? But yeah, these rallies are hated because I don't know. I think a lot of people still in like disbelief almost. We do have to be completely reasonable here. Like this is a big level for Bitcoin. It's a big area for Bitcoin. You know, we were stuck under here for a few months before we ended up breaking down, and now we're retesting back towards it. So it's not a place to be taking positions into just yet. And obviously, if we did get a breakout, you know, as price, let's say we break up, as price moves up, so does the areas of interest, right? For example, if we broke out to 112k, then my place I'd be looking for buying would be then here, right? Rather than here. Yeah. So it would be like, if we were trading up here, my place I'd be interested in buying would be like here or here. Whereas as of right now, my place of buying is here. Yeah, right. So, you know, obviously we got to adapt as price action unfolds, but right now I'd be very surprised if this just chads straight through. Stocks under res. So yeah, that's what I was going to talk about as well. You know, despite my bias and expecting new highs in May and selling my spot bags that I've been buying in towards June, you know, we want to have an exit plan, and obviously we want to try and look at the market from both sides. So if, you know, in terms of a bounce, like sure, this is fantastic, but ETH, when it really starts to get going, it just goes and it just sort of grinds up like this. It's doesn't really offer much of a structure to it. It's sort of just like almost vertical. You know, we can see here. This is the sort of PA we want to look for. You know, and if this starts to roll and get back under 2k, then you got to really be cautious in something like this. If this starts to deviate, you know, if you're in spot bags, don't marry them. Potentially look at, well, not potentially, I am going to be looking at buying on dips. You know, into here looks pretty nice for ETH at this point. But obviously cutting it is if we deviate, because we're at risk of just forming pretty much just like a big weekly bearish retest right now, right? You know, the weekly again, it's similar to BTC. Like we're moving into a big area here for ETH. You know, we don't want to see this reject back under here, because it'll be cooked for summer. If this deviates, you pack like ETH, you just short it all the way through summer pretty much. But for now, this should hold, right? Should flip. We got stopped on the BTC scalp. Yeah, I was running a fairly tight stop. I was looking for a bit of a breakout, but just fizzled out. We had a couple attempts at breaking out, but right, that's enough. Coinbase launches 24/7 futures for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's take a look at some alts now. Some altcoins. See what we're playing with. See if we can find some levels of interest. I mean, we're doing it again, right? Like, here. We're not offering much of a sweep, like, at all. You know, we're not offering much of a sweep. We've done it again yesterday. Like, it's really hard price action to position into. If you're not already in. I think this, like, for now, this, to me, it looks pretty strong. Yeah, there's probably a good chance of maybe forming a bit of a divergence up here, which is why I was looking for a scalp for sort of like a, to buy into, to sell into this through drive, but maybe that would be the play right now. If for a little drop is if we can form a sort of free drive into the high, maybe that can give some sort of a drop to downside liquidity into 100k. If we form this divergence, like potentially we could look at taking a short above these highs. If we get a good sweep above these highs, like we had a nice SFP this morning, and we could see as we swept above at this high. Yeah. See a decent amount of short licks come in, and then also just like quite large volume into the highs. And then we basically flushed out from there for the day. Been bracketing ever since. But yeah, just forming a bracket up here, like, yeah, it's not bad at all to be ranging up here. So yeah, Bonk is a spot coin I'm in at the moment. Looks really good. Such a clean retest on the weekly. Clean deviation and retest. Ideally, I can sell towards 0.03. At some point, hopefully into May or June, depending on the reaction there. Sell into that. But yeah, looks nice. I think you still look at buying obvious retests on coins like this. Like buying into here, I think is probably the best play right now. That'd be off the high, 20% move. Time for in chart. Yeah, something like this, you're probably just better off buying when you're confirmed in BTC bottom. But if you did get a retest back towards this region, that would look great, to be honest. I'm unsure whether you're going to get that, but obviously we get it if BTC pulls back. I still think, yeah, buying into anything sub 0.02 looks good. Probably buying into this retest for Bonk. Quite nice daily structure if it done that. Yeah, around 0.019 looks good for Bonk, I think. And obviously, if you have any chart requests, feel free to put them on in the chat. We can take a look at them. Yeah, my Pepe bag is flying. It's buying into 0.08 spot. Again, probably just buying an obvious retest on something like Pepe is the best place right now. This region here. You get given it. I'm unsure whether you're going to get that at this point. I mean, yeah, 30%, that's completely possible. 0.01 is probably a nice bid for Pepe. If you want to be greedy, maybe place some spot bids towards 0.01 on it. I think that's completely possible. I might even add to my spot myself into here. That looks nice, actually. Jesus, John just said he spent 500k on Pokemon cards and boxes this week. That's crazy. Altcoin, you probably buy towards 1.1. This has been treating demand fairly nicely lately. Still believe altcoin can go to like 216, probably even to all-time high, to be honest. It can flip here. Set some alerts for this. Yeah, I reckon buying back towards here seems like a nice place. How's the momentum looking? That's not ideal, to be honest. Not ideal momentum here. Definitely at risk of potentially topping a local top for a retest. Not looking ideal on the momentum. Definitely could see a pullback maybe, but yeah, back towards 1.1 could be great. 1.1 for a bid on altcoin, even into $1 if you're lucky. That'd be a 25% move off the highs. My hype spot is doing really good as well. Expecting a decent break on this. Simple flip, bought the simple flip. IP longed this last night, caught a nice move. Sold this morning. Initia, pretty nice reclaim on it. I'm just going through my watch list right now. These are the coins that I have my eye on. Link has been a bit of a lagger, to be fair. Expected a bit more from it on this move. Litecoin fucking this is, it's just stuck in range, bro. If this locks in a nice like reclaim back above 100, that'd look solid. But yeah, it can get, stuff can get concerning, man. Like if we, as of right now, I don't expect it, but if we locked in a deviation back, like if we officially deviated here, right, and we get like stuck back inside, and we see no signs of a chart like attempt at breaking out into May and June, then I think we're just going to chop for summer, right? And then you've got the likes of Litecoin, which is pretty much putting in a big old bearish retest right now, which is probably not a bad short. If anything, it's probably not a bad coin to short right here. I'm like such a clean potential bearish retest on it. Like it's probably worth hedging some of your spot. We start to deviate back under like 100k. Worst case scenario right now. So we'd just do this again, right? Obviously. That's the worst case scenario. Is that we end up chopping until October before actually then officially breaking out. And this is what will happen if I think if we don't break out within the next month or so. That's why I keep mentioning the small window that we have, and it's pretty important that we can sustain the momentum we have in the market. Budeng obviously crazy. Unfortunately, had this whole area mapped out, and yeah, just ummed and ahed too long, and then before I knew it, it was gone. So stick to your strategy. There was no reason why I shouldn't have taken this trade at all. I was watching it for a couple weeks now. Well, since end of last week of April, I was looking at buying this region. And yeah, just didn't offer anything on the breakout into the low volume node area. So looking pretty good. Spot buys in Discord are going pretty well. Still looking at adding on a drop. It's kind of another coin right now that is you know, worth keeping an eye on in terms of that it's back within in this range, right? We're trading in this range. You know, we need to flip 180. It's an important area for Sol to flip. I'd like to at least sweep these highs, and maybe I'd consider going flat on my position. But overall, I think even if we get a drop here back towards 140s, I'm going to look at adding to my bag for a bounce and continuation in May. Just like, despite BTC looking great here, and like meme coins going crazy, we still have to be logical in the fact that overall this is, you know, we're getting some good bounces in the market, but we're in a ranging environment on alts still, and we also like bouncing back into such a key level on some of these alts that I'd really want to see a decent flip before we consider that there's much more upside left for these, especially as now we're moving into that, you know, May and June. Yeah. So last year. Same area last May, June. Bounced into resistance, couldn't break out, chopped for summer, and then eventually broke out, obviously. Banner, another coin that's doing pretty well. It's worth keeping an eye on. Really nice bottom structure on it, especially if it can flip 0.5. Basically, we'll just take out this whole low volume node area with some good volume. Bobcat, good. Got my iron and XRP. Let's take a look at some coins. Yeah, Soul memes are shredding right now. Back to it all. 100%. 7x. I mean, yeah, like it seems like this week we've had some bonkers moves, but in the grand scheme of things, like stuff is still down so much. Pretty insane. Like if we do get into some really good conditions the next few weeks, then like stuff is gonna just continue to go up. Like there's so much room for movement higher on a lot of these coins. Yeah, the Discord's been frying this week. Everyone's been catching some nice moves. That's a pretty nice reclaim on Mog, to be fair. It might be quite a nice retest to try and buy into here. This is quite a nice retest. I think, again, Mog sort of looking at bidding obvious retest on it. You know, from a bullish standpoint, it should hold that retest, that reclaim if you get given it. I think it's a good buy opportunity. Where's some alerts down here? You also got that, as I said, the daily high volume node, or just the high volume node POC around there, which is quite nice. Page looks good. Still holding pretty well. This also doesn't look topped yet. Still looks like it's got some gas to break out, I'm not gonna lie. I think this looks pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. It's crazy volatility on it right now though. Maybe squeeze a 35% move out of it. A little bit awkward to position in here though. I'd prefer a little bit of a lower entry if we were going to hop into this, but I have a good inkling this is not done. This looks like it's just consolidating before it breaks out again, to be honest. Six, eight. Yeah. No time frame, like, yeah. It's quite a nice area to bid, like little SFP into the M589. Invalidation under the EMA, the M30 EMA 21. Maybe we haven't even retested that yet. Maybe we can get a little bit of a retest on that. Then position, take a position. Takes maybe something like this, maybe. Target here, here. Sweep to here. As well. Bad. See, the thing is with Pepe, it's got a little bit more of a toppy structure to me. I do like this PA, but this 30-minute could definitely turn out to be like a bit of a top on it. Whereas for Mudeng, I don't see this sort of this consolidation being a top. Like I don't see this nuking personally. Maybe if we got a sweep under these lows and a reclaim on BTC, we can look at longing Mudeng. Like BTC gave us a little sweep here and a reclaim. You know, if it sweeps and it doesn't break down to our 100k region, we sweep and we reclaim. Then maybe we could look at longing Mudeng into this, to the sweep. So I think BTC from there could do like that. The ideal scenario. Yeah. It's a Friday, to be fair. Just realized as well. Fridays have been pretty poor lately. Not much movement been happening on Fridays, and then usually on the Saturday we get some sort of like strong directional flow. Friday we rallied. This Friday we topped out. Similar top actually. That I'm kind of looking for. Redrive thing. Shitters. Yeah. Oh, it's XST. I thought it was STX. I was like, what the hell happened to STX? It was looking fine last time I looked at it. You know what? Big time is clearly I've removed it off my list by accident. This has been showing some decent strength for a while now. Nice retest on it. Decent deviation. 8% move. Stuff is still exhausted, man. Like, despite BTC trading at 103k, like, stuff just hasn't moved. There's still just not enough money in the market to move everything. I mean, I don't know when that would change. Obviously, memes are just completely sucking liquidity. When it loads. All right, this is the day. On the day, right? Clearly, memes leading. Look at the one. Oh, sorry, this is the month. Not the day. Leading on the month. I mean, they're probably leading on the day as well. No doubt about it. Layer 2's up here. Interesting. Yeah, on the day as well, leading. No doubt about that. And I think probably closely following would be Soul Memes. Maybe even Soul Memes are probably leading, but for some reason the category's not working. I'm not gonna fix that now. I would say Soul Memes would most definitely be leading, right? Obviously we got Mudang, Peanut, Fog, Goat, Foam. Foam is actually ETH. Griffin's up. Ooh, this is looking quite nice. Yeah, this is looking quite nice. We can lock in the reclaim. You might be asking why I like this. Let me just back check some other charts just to see that I've got the most history. I mean, the most history would probably be on deck screener anyway. But for just for educational purposes, I like these sort of charts because we have decent gap above. And when we can get these flips, these can lead to quite aggressive moves higher with some good volume and market conditions. How's the deck screener chart looking? Yeah, I mean, deck screener chart is just showing also big gap above. Wow, on-chain was crazy, bro. And that was... On-chain really was the... Griffin went on its original run, it went like 9,000%. Say from the bottom of the impulse. Yeah. Crazy. I like this. I like this a lot, you know. I think this is good potential. See AI agent, and I think, I mean, as I just discussed, memes are sucking a lot of the liquidity at the moment. So if memes cool off a bit, then maybe we can see a rotation back into AI agents. I mean, I don't think AI agents are here to stay around, but they've definitely been showing showing some strength lately, and at least some signs of that they want to see some relief. All it took was like one sort of big impulse and then everyone was looking at them again, I guess. Because you had like this, you had Ava AI, unfortunately this went without me, but this was a nice move. Similar to this flip, so you know what Griffin is doing could potentially do what Ava AI done, where we flip and then just rally. I think there's a good chance for some nice retests on a lot of these coins we've discussed today, for sure. I'd like to buy Griffin back towards 0.075 if possible. Set some alerts. Buy if we get a little bit of a pullback. Is he not moving? Rolling over maybe. How's dominance getting on? Dominance still standstill. Still dropping. Yeah, holy shit. Insane. Bouncing a little bit. Finally, maybe losing its trend. We'll have to see. If this does lose its trend, then that'd be pretty impressive. I mean, there was a couple occasions where BTC lost its trend. We can compare that to chart now, but we'll see. Over time, we had a few periods, right, where we look at let's look at maybe others. Could be a good see. Back here in November was when November into December, we saw dominance sort of lose its trend, right? And then if we look at the others chart, so others, this is the total crypto market cap excluding the top 10. We could look at and total 2 if you want. Probably a bit better. But yeah, here around where the dominance lost its like big daily trend it was in, we can see November, December, and then look what happened to total 3, right? Started to really like ramp up. So total 3 really pushed higher. And then in November 2024, when dominance got that blow off, right, we lost the trend from it again. In November, again, total 3 started to ramp up. So you can almost expect a similar thing here, right, from dominance, that if dominance was to lose its trend here, then maybe we can see a nice spike in total 3 and rotation back towards some altcoins. And of course, as always, these like trends are very subjective. You could draw them any way you want. Personally, I like to draw them to the body, you could say. Anyway, when we look at the weekly, there's been 3 occasions where we sort of saw this blow from dominance. There was December 23 through till Jan 24. December 23 through to Jan 24. Nice spike in dominance in total 3, and then again here November through to December. Right here. Nice spike in total 3. So you gotta think, right? We get this breakout. Again, total 3. I wouldn't draw like trend lines and stuff to this. I'm just saying in context that, you know, it's kind of down to dominance here. If dominance seems to drop quite a lot, we can see a nice rotation for dominance starts dropping down into 60%. We probably see a nice rotation into altcoins big time. I really like this chart. I like this 5-minute PA, to be honest, on Griffin for a potential leverage long. For a spot position, I think maybe scaling in down here, but for like a leverage position, this doesn't look bad. Like nice price action around these EMAs. Mudeng and Griffin are 2 coins I like quite right now. Yes. Maybe on a little low time frame flip there. I think this is the only downside right now. But we do have some little bit of volume here. The real gap lies above 0.96. Real gap lies above. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Being ahead of itself here. In terms of, yeah, spot, looking at bidding on, we discussed it, Fartcoin back towards $1, 1.1 to $1. Bonk back towards 0.019. Pepe back towards 0.01. Discuss. So back towards anything 150 looks good. Bitcoin, ideally for a trend continuation, we hold 100, 99 to 100. That's the place. That's the place to hold for some continuation. I think it'll be quite shallow, the pullback. If we do get one, it'll be shallow. And everyone will probably get bearish into us and be like, oh, we've local topped. It's over, blah, blah, blah. That's when we buy. Yeah, for longs right now, I quite like Pepe and Mudeng for some continuation. I'm gonna keep my eye on these two. Broccoli F3B. Like, what the fuck, man? What are these coins' name? Like, what is that? Who is trading this? Bro. Broccoli F3B. It was deployed on the 4.meme platform and is the first Broccoli token to be deployed on. Oh, Broccoli as in CZ's dog Broccoli, I'm guessing. JFC, man. There's no like real like flow outliers really. Move, you know what? I actually really enjoy trading this coin. Did. Back here and here. It's kind of cooked. Wasn't the Trump team buying this? They were buying Move. I swear World Liberty Finance were buying Move. And they're also buying Cow. Oh, weren't they? Cow swap. Don't look too bad, you know? But I'm gonna add this to my watch list. Probably worth keeping an eye on some Trump coins for sure. Pretty weak reaction off that New York Open from BTC. Usually when we get sort of like a spike like that, if we completely blame it, I mean in general in any market, but especially after New York Open, I think it's pretty weak. It's a Friday. We can probably wrap the stream up here, to be fair. I need to have a meeting in 15 minutes, so I need to hop off for that. And I feel like I've discussed everything I need to discuss in terms of a roundup of the week, which is the goal of the stream, right? Rounding the stream up, rounding the week up. Pretty good week. My memes that I've been buying over the past couple of weeks, doing really well. Continue to look at adding them. If you're not in the Discord, make sure you check out the description. The link to join is down there. Also, link to my socials as well, where you can follow me and stuff. I'm posting ideas and things on my socials. Yeah, check out my my channel as well. While you're here, I have a lot of content on there, looking at outlook on BTC on the higher time frame and stuff. Gonna keep an eye on Mudeng for a long, and also Griffin. Griffin, if it starts to reclaim here, I think we can look at potentially taking a long for a big old breakout. Especially if BTC continues to chop with dominance dropping, I think it gives alt some breathing room for some more moves. But overall, just to summarize, I do think that if we get a drop, I'm going to look at trying to buy into 100 to 99k, mid 99k. That'd be the ideal place for an aggressive position into BTC. If we fail to hold here and we sort of break down straight through, we're going to probably test the monthly open, which I still believe is a good place to be a buyer, as long as the monthly open holds, because historically monthly open pumps over the past 5 months have full retraced, apart from one occasion, which was back in November when we were performing a similar move to this and it didn't full retrace. So if we're in a similar trading environment, this looks good. We shouldn't full retrace this move, personally. I think we can look at bidding into 100k. If we get 100k, that is. And if we don't just continue to grind and break up. Yeah, that's it for my stream this week. Might stream again next week. Oh, actually, no, I won't. I'm not here next Friday, so. What do you think the New York Open will look like? New York Open already happened, bro. That happened 2 hours, 15 minutes ago. Weekend, I don't have too much to comment on the weekend. You're probably going to get some decent altcoin moves on the weekend. Some scams on low liquidity weekend. The risk is there for alts, so I wouldn't be surprised to see some continuation on some of these. So I'm going to look at potentially positioning to these, and maybe on like a little sweep on BTC if we can get given it, but a sweep under here and a reclaim for an intraday position. This is more of a swing place, a swing / spot, but in terms of a intraday weekend play, maybe a sweep under these lows and a reclaim. We can target 104 again, and then I would look at taking some long positions on alts from there. Yeah, other than that, not a place you want to be sliding the love bar up. It's risky up here. Big level, big area on the daily, the weekly, the monthly, big area. So yep, I'll leave it there. Thank you if you stopped by. I appreciate it. Have a good weekend, everyone. You can find me in the Discord Monday to Friday, and sometimes on the weekends in the description. See you guys. Bye bye.